Hi guys, so I'm back with a video, and it's kind of like beauty tips video, how to achieve beautiful brows. Now, I was inspired to do this video because a few weeks ago I saw like an article about on HD brows, and a lot of the comments on the article were saying how my brows aren't naturally thick, or they can't be thick like that. I don't know why nice brows always have to be thick. And I think people like kind of missed the point of the article, where it was in fact just an example. They took a woman and improved her brows. Basically, they weren't necessarily a lot thicker or anything. They weren't really thick brows at the end result. They were just filled in a little bit more and basically just working well with her natural brow shape. And I think a lot of people feel like that to have beautiful brows, or the in thing now is to have thick brows, and only thick brows are supposed to be fashionable or look good or whatever. But I think the best thing to remember when trying to groom your brows and to make your brows be beautiful is to keep with their natural shape. It doesn't matter if you've been born with thick brows or naturally thin brows. What you have to do to keep them looking good and beautiful is to just keep with their natural shape. Don't try to tailor the shape into something else by tweezing them into a different shape or anything, because if you do that, then you'll lose the natural shape and you'll just get a whole disaster going on if you really exaggerate in that aspect. So the top tip is, when grooming your brows, tweezing, waxing, whatever, keep to the natural shape. Do not never pluck above the brow. Fine, you can like take away any stray hairs that are a bit too high and a bit obvious. Stray hairs, fine, but don't try to manipulate the shape above the brow, because that will ruin your natural brows. Only try to only pluck underneath here, and don't take away too much. Just go with the natural shape, and basically what you want to do is just tidy up the brow, not change the shape of the brow. So for example, me, like, I don't know why I did this, but like a few years ago I was into like trying to pluck off the hairs like at the top here to make it even more tidy, and I was just getting a bit too how can I say, I was exaggerating. I wasn't taking away just straight hair. I was actually starting to get into hair that was part of the shape of my brow. So now this brow is like my bad brow, and this is the best brow because luckily most of the hair grew back and is like normal on this side, but on this side not all the hair has grown back yet, and it's been quite a while. So that's an example of a bad thing that I did. And I also used to really make my brows quite thin when I was at school. It was like most people would do that, make them really thin and just over pluck. Don't do that, please do not do that. Just go with your natural shape. So if you're too worried to do it by yourself, then go to a professional, but make sure you go to someone who's good, or someone who has been recommended to you, because sometimes you may go somewhere and they do your brows in a way that you don't like, and they're not good at grooming the brows, and they take away too much or do a bad shape. So definitely, if you're not confident of doing your own brows, go to a good professional. In relation to how you can remove the hairs and everything, there's quite a few options. So some options you could go for would be tweezing, which is like the main thing. You can use threading, which is really good. It gets rid of like most of the hair. You'll get like flawless brows if you thread. And waxing is like can give you similar results to threading. The only thing with waxing is it's quite harsh on the skin, because obviously the wax strip has to be pulled, so it's a harsh action for the skin. So I would definitely choose threading over waxing. And you can also use hair removal cream, and these a mini shaver. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but I think you can even get them from the £1 shop. It's this tiny razor, really small razor, comes on like a handle, and then at the top there's a small razor, so you can like shape your brows or remove upper lip hair with this razor. This is another way. I don't even recommend this to people who have really fine hair, like really fine hair. Like for me, I have quite thick hair, so I definitely would not do that. I would only go for threading and tweezing. Now, when you fill in your brows, it's best to just fill in where they needed to be fill in. So like where there's, if you would say, like failures. So for example, for me, like I said, this brow at the top here, some of the hair it's a bit patchy here from where I used to over tweeze. So I definitely do fill in this part of my brow on both sides. I don't really do anything on here, but I do up here and I do on the sides, because it's quite sparse, the hair here on the sides, because like I said, at school I used to over tweeze and my eyebrows were really thin. So on this part of my eyebrows, at the end of the eyebrows, there was like hardly any hair. So I definitely have to fill on the ends and here at the top. If you want to try to like create an arch, if you haven't got an arch, then you can do so, but don't exaggerate. Again, try to keep in with the natural shape of your brow, because if you over exaggerate something, then it just won't look natural. But if you're going for that look, then fine. But I mean to say, if you still want to keep in with a natural look, don't try to just create a random shape that doesn't really match your own natural brows, because we're born with the brows that we have, and they're the best shape that will complement our face. Because that's what I have to say about filling in your brows. And filling in products, the one that I use at the moment is just the MUA Shadow in 19, and I have to say this is a temporary option. I don't really like this shade because it's not cool enough. I want something that's a bit cooler than this. This is slightly warm, so I wouldn't really recommend this as a filling in shade. Maybe depending on your colouring, maybe it could work for you, but me personally, I want something that's a bit cooler. And the brush that I use with this is this Revlon slanted brush. I just got it from Superdrug. This is something else that's like a temporary measure. It's okay. Before I tried another brush, I thought it was fine. I didn't have any problems with it. But after I tried a different brush that was a lot thinner and a lot precise, when I went back to using this, I was like, oh my god, this brush is just not working. It's not as good as the one that I tried. So I wouldn't repurchase this or recommend this as a eyebrow filling in brush. I'd recommend something that's a bit more precise and delicate than this brush. This brush is slightly thick on the end, so when I get the chance, I'm going to change this brush. Another option that you have is to, of course, use eyebrow pencils. You should be careful about the one that you choose, because not all of them will give it a really nice finish. The one that I really do recommend, that I really like, is the number 7 eyebrow pencil. It's really good. The finish is as if you've used a powder, and it goes on really nicely onto the skin. It blends really well. It doesn't look like you've used a pencil. It gives a really natural finish. The colour of the pencil is great. It's not too reddish or anything, the brown colour I'm talking about. So I definitely recommend the number 7 eyebrow pencil if you want to try an eyebrow pencil. Another option that you could try that I do recommend is actually a normal drawing pencil. It has to be 6B or 7B. So it's just a normal pencil you get from an art shop or W.H. Smith or something. And if you haven't got too many things to fill in and you want something that's just really subtle and will just fill in the gaps, and no one will be able to ever tell that you're using anything to fill in your brows, then I do recommend this. I have used this before and it really does the job. You'd think, what, a drawing pencil on my face? But no, it's really good. I do recommend this. Definitely give it a go if you're curious about that. Yeah, and that's it really. So I think basically the main thing is to just keep to your natural brow shape. Don't try to create something that isn't there. Like the worst thing you can do is over pluck, because it's harder for the hair to grow back, and then you'll have to just keep filling in your eyebrows unnecessarily if you hadn't had over plucked. So the best thing is to just keep to your brows natural shape. Don't try to create anything else, and again, don't try to pluck on the upper part of the brow, just below. But yeah, basically those are my tips for how to get beautiful brows. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any comments or anything to ask, then leave them down below in the comment section below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Bye.